So grateful to be here with you guys. My mom's on Zoom. I don't know if her camera's on, but coucou maman. Aww. But yeah, so my title is How Learning to Do Nothing Changed My Life. And I'm Zach, and it really did. But what I realized I really wanted this talk to be yesterday really was a love letter to all the ones who've loved me, but especially you guys. You guys are so amazing, and this community of love has been invaluable for me, and it's just been so amazing to see you guys grow. But I'll take you through a little journey. So I grew up between France and the US, as some of you might know, and my parents actually got divorced when my mom was pregnant with me. And I didn't meet my dad until I was 1 year old. And I kind of spent half of my childhood in between the US and in between France. So I spent my childhood in school, like with my half brother and half sister, and my mom and my stepdad, who she remarried with. And I spent the other half of my time with my dad in France, visiting him on vacations. And he was very, very abusive, very physically abusive, very emotionally abusive. And he would threaten me with things like, oh, like if you don't do this, you're never going to see your family again. I just won't take you to the airport, right? And I was like 6 years old, going back and forth from the airport on my own. And that was really, really difficult for me. And so how did I deal with that as a child? I did everything I could to control my environment, control my mind, and try to really be the best person I could be, but not according to what I believed, but according to what society believed. So I did really well in school. Every time I went to France to visit my dad, I was like, I'll come back a better version of myself. But the better version of myself that society was telling me to be was only smarter, only working harder. It wasn't loving, which is who I was as a kid. With my mom and my family, I was so loving, pure of joy. And it's like Fritz said yesterday, when we're born full of joy, and then the world conditions us to other things. So I became valedictorian. I went to Michigan. I did really well, finished with a 4.0 in computer science. And that I actually see as like bad. And even as I say this, your perception of me might change. And that, I think, is part of the problem. That's what I believed. I believed myself to be those things and to be good because of those things, not because of who I was as a person and the essence of who I was, which was just love with my family. That was part of the problem. And I could see the shift. I could see the clicking. And it's beautiful because it's congratulatory, but that was part of the problem for me. And I realized that how I was seeing myself, even subconsciously, I was looking at other people. And I was like, oh, like, would I associate with them? Oh, like, and it wasn't happening consciously, but when I could catch it, I was like, wait, who am I really? What happened to the boy that really cared for his brother, his sister, and his family, and just really cared about love? And that was the essence of who I was. So in college, I started having a lot of panic attacks. And I didn't really know what they were. I had a lot of physical symptoms. At first, I didn't think they were. I thought it was just like, oh, something's wrong with me. Doctors will figure it out. And it was really, really difficult to deal with. I actually quit a semester of school and just like took my really good like doing skills and just applied them to like figuring this shit out. And I was like, you know what? There's going to be a magic pill that fixes me. So I tried everything, sound meditation, everything. And all of it helped a little bit. EMDR, Liana, you talked about that yesterday. And all of it helped, and I think it all got me to a place where I could finally like be with myself and learn how to really be with myself and listen to myself. And that was something new for me. I'd never done that. I'd always looked outside for school, even outside for love. And so what I really want to talk about is the more I've meditated, and I've been all over the world at this point. I've been in Guatemala, I've been to India, and the more I've meditated, the more I've realized it really doesn't matter where you go. And Georgia shared about this yesterday too. It doesn't matter where you go. It just matters where your mind goes. The movement that your body takes, it doesn't matter. It's only the movement that your mind takes. You could be anywhere. I found it so moving what Lily was sharing. Like, you could be anywhere. You could have anything. It doesn't matter. You could be unhappy or happy. It's your choice. And the thing that I really realized, my girlfriend's also here today. Shout out her, Pallavi. And she actually she saw me through the panic attacks and become a toxic boyfriend. I was that toxic boyfriend because I was terrible. Like, I was so dependent. I couldn't go to sleep without calling her every night. It was terrible. And she was there and supported me through all of that, and I couldn't be more grateful. But those labels that even I had for myself, that guilt, the toxic boyfriend, none of that was who I am. And if I can see all of that today, and I can observe my thoughts, and I observed who I was then, if I don't label myself anymore like that, I choose the labels that I get to pick on, then who am I really? And so when I look out at all of you, all beautiful people, and I see how you guys have shown up in this training and the people you've chosen to be, it comes to my mind and I wonder, when we meditate, when we think about emptiness, when we think about karma and there's no suffering, what comes up? It's only love. It's only heart. It's only pure light. It's nothing else. There's nothing else that comes up. The minute you remove those obstacles, those labels, the only truth is that love will shine through, the magnet of love. There's no coincidence that this training, because of meditation, that we all ended up loving each other. That's not a coincidence. That's by design. That's the nature of the universe. That's the true law. That's true refuge. And what I take from this is, how can you see this world we've crafted out here, and we're gonna leave. How can we craft the same world and keep it inside our minds, right? Because that's not always easy, and it's the same thing in Buddhism. One of the 3 jewels is Sangha, community. There's a reason for that too. It's not easy to keep that in mind day to day. So I have one offering for you guys as well that I've been working on. I made envelopes with all of your names, including all the TA's names, and in each of those I put a note about what you guys have meant for me in this training. And Hector too, of course. We can't forget Hector.
I was very shocked.
Yeah. And what I offer you to do if you want is I brought Post-it notes and flashcards, and you guys can write what other people have meant to you in this training too, whether it's from their med talk or anything. And you can put that in their little envelopes and they can take it home. And what my idea for it was, we're gonna do our own thing in the world. It might be connected to 3 jewels, it might not be. But you can put those Post-it notes somewhere. You can keep them, you can store them, you can put them around your house. And when you're having a rainy day and when you're having a difficult time, you can remember the love that was shared here. And Hector said something about this yesterday that was really beautiful. When you're in a dark place and you're really far and you're away from the practices, you can always fall back on what you've cultivated now. And so for people who haven't started too, what I realized is the love that we've cultivated here and the love that I see in my meditations, and I've had crazy meditations. I've had Hindu deities speaking to me that I didn't know were Hindu deities until later. It's crazy. But what I've realized is that none of it, I don't speak about that because the only thing that matters is love. Those crazy experiences mean nothing, and they hold no candle to the power of love, and that's the only thing that matters. So whether it's in family, small moments with strangers across the street, it's no different. It all emanates from the magnet of love. It all comes back to that at the end of the day. So thank you so much, and especially a very big thank you to my mom. I really liked what Patrick said yesterday. We don't tell the people we love that we love them enough. And it's easy in a container like this, and it's much harder in the world. So I just want to say I love you, Mom. I don't tell it to you enough. So thank you so much.